If one brother can win at the international game, I guess another one can as well. What do you take from 60-plus minutes here against Farjestad?
Well, for one, Farjestad, I was very impressed by their game. I think they're probably a little adjustment for them in the first game against the All-Stars, and they kind of took it hard in St. John's, but boy, they came out flying. They play a real high-paced game, and you know, I'd like to see them with the full complement of players. They've got some guys playing on the Olympic team right now, so that was a real impressive team. That being said, I was really impressed by the way our guys responded. We had some guys that stepped up into bigger roles, and namely Dylan Yule stepped it up on the offensive side of things. And he's had a tough year. He hasn't been in the lineup very much, so it was good to see him seize that opportunity.
They matched up well with Greg McKegg. Great to see the speed he had in the game's opening goal to cut around and go to the net.
Yeah, and that was something that we talked about as the game went on, is challenging their D. They're a real good containment type defense that they have, and we felt like if we asserted ourselves and drove the net, that we'd find a way to get some opportunities, and it paid off for us.
What did you like about Garrett Sparks' game as he battled back to stay in contention and give you guys a chance to win?
Garrett's been really good for us the last since he's been back from Orlando, and I can't say he's had an off game so far. And tonight, again, another guy getting an opportunity to play at home. He hasn't played a whole lot at home, and so it was good to see him respond. They didn't get a whole lot in the way of shots, but they had real quality chances, and he really stayed on pucks, and I thought he was extremely good for us.
You get Brennan back, and you get Corbinian back in the lineup, back-to-back games against Utica, and of course Texas at Air Canada Centre on Monday. How tough will those challenges be as you guys try to keep pace atop the North Division?
Well, and that's what we have to do. Right now, Rochester's been really surging. Everybody in our division, nobody's going away. So we're going to have a challenge tomorrow. Utica's, they've played some decent hockey as of late, and Texas is one of the top teams in the league. So we had a tough outing against them down in Austin the last time we played them. So the two big challenges. Having those guys back in the lineup will be big for us. You know, getting a little rest for them, because they do get a lot of ice time, was good. And like I said, some of the other guys that had the opportunity showed what they could do, and now they'll be able to bring it into a league game.
Gord, it's an international game, but hockey is hockey. But what are some of the different ways you prepare your team for a game like this, where it's not like a regular team that you see on a regular basis?
Well, I think we really have to assert the way that we play, and stay to the type of, you know, whether it's a team systems or just out individual habits, and those are the things that we stressed, is just make sure. Again, coming off a break where we had one practice, guys were a little raw there early on, but as the game progressed, we got back to playing the type of game that we wanted to play, and we kept stressing that.
Do you expect to get Spencer Abbott back in the lineup this weekend, or is he still a little bit away?
Right now, that's our plan. Is you know, he's responded well to therapy, and he practiced with us yesterday, and it gave him the opportunity to have another day's rest today. He had a practice this morning, and so our hope is to have him back in the lineup.
Gord, Steve mentioned before the All-Star break that there were a couple guys that really didn't take advantage of the opportunity that presented them. Talk about guys like Mike Duco, Corey Nagy, Zach Yoon making his American Hockey League debut. Is this the type of game that really for those guys to prove themselves that they can belong in the American Hockey League?
Well, for sure. You know, Mike Duco's a guy that's proven himself at this level, and you know, he hasn't been in our lineup a whole lot, but when he is in our lineup, he's a presence on the ice. And as far as the other guys, Corey Nagy's another guy. We've got such good depth in our organization that there's been times where he hasn't been in our lineup just because of that depth, and was down in Orlando for the same reasons. And but he's played well when he's stepped in and played, and the same with Zach Ewan with the depth of our D, and there really hasn't been a call up this year. The Leafs have stayed healthy, and so our RD has done a great job, maintaining the caliber of play. So it's been hard for him to get in the lineup. So it was good to see him get the opportunity today, and I didn't think he looked out of place at all.
Was that a pre-planned move? I know Steve spent the All-Star break in Orlando watching the Sword Bears. Was that something that he brought to your attention as a coaching staff, or was the Yoon call already pre-planned?
Well, it was something that he wanted to evaluate him when he went down to Orlando, and he liked what he saw, and so that prompted him coming up. But at the same time, it was something that we had talked about, and again, a chance to get a look at him in an American Hockey League competition, and again, like I said, I don't think he looked out of place.